the ocean. Covering 70% of the Earth, it influences the weather, regulates the climate, and is home to the majority of species on our planet.
The ocean is responsible for many amazing things, such as sea salt and Finding Nemo, but most amazing are rock pools. If you've been to a beach with rock pools, the chances are you've seen them before, but you may not have noticed the amazing species that call them home. I am Noah Bunk, and today I'll be your tour guide around Cornwall's rock pools.
The apex predator of rock pools are the birds, only having each other as competition. Rock pools are an incredible location for finding food. This turnstone will use its beak to flick seaweed, dig in sand, and turn over stones. Or so I've heard. The turnstone isn't picky, looking for pretty much anything it can grab onto.
This is what a turnstone looks like from the perspective of a crab in a rock pool. Pretty terrifying. Speaking of,
the hermit crab. As scavengers, they'll eat whatever they can get their claws on. Eating dead fish, algae, rocks, tires, watches, phones, and divers who forgot to do their buddy checks.
hermit crabs technically aren't true crabs because they can't grow their own shells. Instead, they find abandoned ones, like this one. A clever adaptation to the housing crisis, and they get them from one of the most interesting species here.
Sea snails. Moving on.
One of the most important species to the ocean's health and to rock pools are the seaweeds.
This beach is covered in many species of seaweed. Most are found at different levels from the coastline. Serrated wrack, for example, lives on the lower shore, so it spends most of its time submerged in water, acting as shelter for many species. Channeled wrack, on the other hand, is found on the upper shore. To survive here, it has to be resilient against desiccation, which is just science talk for drying out. It's able to survive out of water for 8 days, and will actually die if submerged for too long. Which is pretty pathetic for a seaweed.
To stay out of the water for so long, these upper shore seaweeds need to develop thicker cell walls or produce mucilage, a special fluid that helps them retain moisture. Every species of seaweed here protects the coastline from erosion, playing a key role in the battle against fight against global warming and rising sea levels threatening many coastal towns and cities.
Our next subject is the sea slug. Sea slugs are a lot like non-sea slugs, or slugs, except they live in the sea. Sea slugs have rhinophores that allow them to taste, smell, and search for vibrations in the water. They use them to find food, other members of their species, and to avoid predators, as well as people trying to make a documentary. It may not look like it, but this guy is a fierce predator, and its prey are anemones. Most anemones have stinging cells that protect them from most species, but not sea slugs, which are resistant to them. When consumed, they're moved to the tips of a sea slug serrata, the little spikes on the sea slug's back, which is then used for its own defense.
It doesn't just beat the anemone, it makes it look like a fool, like every time I try to push a pool door and vice versa. That's one ode to the sea slugs, but anemones do have something that makes them pretty special.
This is a snakelox anemone. I already talked a bit about its pitiful stinging defense.
But to see something really interesting, we have to wait until it's night. Or, I do. This should be pretty quick for you guys.
Now, it's night, which means it's dark, as the sun is no longer in the sky. But with a simple UV torch, something pretty magical happens. The snake locks react under blue or UV light and fluoresce. Many other anemone species do the same thing. But why?
These anemones, they have this incredible ability to fluoresce under UV and blue light. Can you give us a bit more insight into that behavior and the role it plays in their survival?
No, not really.
No? What do you mean? You're the expert.
What do you mean expert?
I asked you if you knew what anemones were. You said yes.
Well, yeah, I know what they are.
But you know nothing about them?
Well, no, they're boring.
Turns out my daft roommate isn't the only one who doesn't understand this ability. In fact, to this day, scientists are still puzzled by the function of fluorescence. Some theories suggest that it's for communication, while others suggest it's a vestigial behavior, a behavior that had a purpose in an earlier stage of evolution, but no longer does. My theory is that they use as a nightlight for other species, such as crabs, who then return the favor by protecting them from predators. But what do I know? Well, as much as the scientists do, apparently.
Our final subject is a species that's probably been in every single shot that has water in it.
There are literally billions of them in this rock pool right here. That's nearly as many people as there are on a Primark on any given day. Now, a billion's too big for me to actually count, and they're too small for me to see. So you'll just have to trust my guess as the expert. They're so small, you need a microscope just to see them. Many universities will have them, and you can get easy access to them if you just get past their security.
Zooplankton, a diverse group of species. Many of these are nauplii, which are crustaceans like krill or barnacle in their larval stage. Many species rely on them as a food source, making it all the way up the chain of every subject we explored today. Without these tiny creatures, none of it would be possible.
Rock pools are a vital habitat. They're a good indicator of the ocean's health, and many species use them as nurseries for their young to develop. It's important to remember when visiting natural environments like this to treat them and the species within them with care and respect, as they are often as delicate as they are important. I am Noah Bunk, and this has been Bunk on Rock Pools. I have producers relying on me to get the answers to these questions, and you don't know.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a me Look, can you just venture a guess?
Because they're magical? Oh, or maybe they really like Christmas and they're trying to produce their own Christmas lights.
It's March.
Merry Christmas!